A type of sampling that is familiar is a lottery. For example, we may put tickets into the drum and spin the drum around a few times to mix everything up. Then we select the tickets from the drum. We tend to like lotteries because everyone has an equal chance. In more technical terms, a lottery is a type of sampling called simple random sampling. Simple random sampling, every element from the population has an equal chance of being selected for the sample. So in our lottery, every ticket has an equal chance of being selected. In 1970, a lottery was held to select the men who would be drafted for the Vietnam War. It was decided that the draft would be based on a random selection of birthdays. Each day of the year would be placed in a plastic capsule. To account for leap year, 366 capsules were used. The capsules were placed into a lottery drum. The lottery drum was spun a few times, and capsules would be selected one at a time. The lottery would decide the fates of millions, and its importance was played out on television. Let's take a look at a clip of the broadcast of the lottery.
Because of the CBS News special report which follows, Mayberry RFD will not be presented tonight, but will return next week at its regularly scheduled time over most of these stations. The Draft Lottery, a live report on tonight's picking of the birth dates for the draft. Here at Selective Service Headquarters in Washington is CBS News correspondent Roger Mudd.
Good evening. It was 29 years ago that the first and most famous lottery number, 158, was drawn as the United States entered World War II. Tonight, for the first time in 27 years, the United States has again started a draft lottery. And the famous first pick tonight is September 14th, the first birthday that now is designated 001, which means for 19-year-olds born on September 14th, that beginning in January, local draft boards will induct those men born on September 14th, barring deferments. The next birthday in order, April 24th, and so on down the line this evening. This ceremony, which began at 8 o'clock, is now more than two-thirds through. There are 366 numbers to select, one for each birthday in the year, plus one for February 29th, the leap year. The ceremonies began at 8 o'clock under a bill signed just last week by President Nixon.
Table 1 shows the order in which birth dates were drawn from the drum. The first number selected was 258, which meant that someone born on the 258th day of the year, September 14th, got a draft number of 1 and was among the first to be drafted. The second number was 115, so someone born on the 115th day, April 24th, got a draft number of 2. All 366 birthdays were assigned draft numbers in this way. Someone born on the 160th day of the year, the last draft number drawn, got a draft number of 366. The intention was for every birth date to have the same chance of coming up first as coming up second or third, etc. Was this reasonable expectation met, or were some times of year more likely to get lower numbers than others? Staring at the numbers in the table provides little idea of the overall pattern and does not help to decide whether the birth dates are drawn randomly. This chart shows the relationship between the draft numbers for the birth dates for the 3 parts of the year. The lines in the boxes represent the average draft number, and the 25th percentile, and the 75th percentile. If the draft numbers had been chosen randomly, then the 3 boxes should have been about the same. This is what is shown in this chart. Instead, this chart shows that the relationship between draft numbers and the part of the year decreased systematically with birth date. The later in the year someone was born, the lower their draft number was likely to have been. In other words, the box representing those born in the first third of the year is higher than the box representing those born in the second third, which is in turn higher than the box for those born in the last third. Apparently, the plastic capsules holding the birth dates were not shuffled sufficiently by the rotating drum. The last ones put in tended to be the first ones pulled out. Which men went to war was thus partially determined by a premature decision to stop turning the drum. In simple random sampling, every element from the population has an equal chance of being selected for the sample. The 1970 draft lottery was supposed to be a simple random sample, but an analysis of the results poses an interesting case to ponder.